Now, last night, something changed in the atmosphere around you, as if a long-held secret finally became too heavy to remain buried. A person close to you is now dealing with the weight of their own choices, pacing through moments of regret and silence that feel louder than words. What they did was not physical harm, but a series of decisions shaped by dishonesty, fear, and misplaced intentions that have now begun to surface. They once believed the truth would stay hidden, but reality has a way of unfolding in unexpected ways, especially when trust has been broken. Every notification, every reminder of the past, now feels like a reflection of what they cannot undo or easily explain away. Another person has become aware of fragments of what happened, pieces of conversation and behavior that reveal a clearer picture than they intended. The situation is no longer about secrecy, but about accountability, understanding, and the emotional consequences that follow actions once considered insignificant. Now they are left replaying events, trying to make sense of decisions that cannot be reversed, only acknowledged and learned from. Sleep brings no real escape, only reflection, as the mind continues to revisit what the heart has not yet resolved. In time, what feels overwhelming today may transform into clarity as honesty and acceptance begin to replace confusion and regret. All that remains is the quiet work of facing truth and rebuilding what was damaged. 777. Type Amen to get blessing. They destroyed her spirit with betrayal, and now karma has begun its slow turn. That woman they hurt wasn't random. She was the messenger meant to test their loyalty to you. Now, heaven is bringing every hidden truth to your doorstep in fragments of signs and symbols. 8. Type Amen to get blessing. Watch for flickering lights when you're alone. It's not the bulb. It's their energy trembling through the frequency of guilt. They think deleting messages will save them, but heaven already archived the evidence. 999. Type Amen to get blessing. Their panic began the moment her tears hit the floor. They realized too late that she wasn't a stranger. She was connected to you in a sacred way. And now, that realization is choking them like a knot they can't untie. 111. Type Amen to get blessing. My beloved child, Archangel Michael says, the veil is thinning and truth is crawling into daylight. You will soon see a message appear, written by trembling hands. They will try to explain, to twist, to beg, but the vibration of truth cannot be silenced anymore. 222. Type Amen to get blessing. That night, they crossed a line that no apology can erase. The woman they destroyed carries divine protection. Her pain has summoned heaven's light, and now, everything they built in secret is crumbling under the weight of exposure. 333. Type Amen to get blessing. There's a conversation coming, my child. It will start calm, but will erupt like thunder when the first light slips. Don't react. Listen, because their tone will reveal everything heaven wants you to know. 444. Type Amen to get blessing. They are afraid not of punishment, but of your silence. Your silence holds power, and they know it can end the illusion they've been hiding behind. Every time you walk away, they feel that invisible thread tighten around their conscience. 555. Type Amen to get blessing. Archangel Michael says, heaven is not here to punish, only to reveal. The tears that woman cried last night reached the gates of justice, and now, even the universe is preparing to balance what was broken. 666. Type Amen to get blessing. The panic in their chest isn't random, it's divine consequence. Every heartbeat reminds them of your eyes, your trust, and your unspoken intuition. They know you can sense it. Your energy has shifted. Your aura has become untouchable. 777. Type Amen to get blessing. You felt that sudden heaviness lately, haven't you? That's not anxiety. It's your soul reacting to betrayal disguised as love. Heaven is pulling back layers, exposing faces, and cutting cords that were built on manipulation. 888. Type Amen to get blessing. They tried to pretend everything was normal this morning, smiling, posting, speaking as if nothing happened, but inside, their spirit is collapsing, because lies don't hold long under divine light. 999. Type Amen to get blessing. The woman they destroyed now carries a message meant for you. She might reach out soon, a name you recognize but didn't expect. When she speaks, the tone of truth will pierce your disbelief. 111. Type Amen to get blessing. Archangel Michael says, "Your name was spoken in fear last night, not by enemies, but by the very one who claimed to love you most. Their fear wasn't about losing you. It was about you discovering what they've done." 222. Type Amen to get blessing. Every secret they tried to bury will bloom like a dark flower at sunrise. You will see proof, not through gossip, but through divine timing. Your angels have already arranged for the truth to surface through coincidence, one that feels too precise to ignore. 333. Type Amen to get blessing. The clock between midnight and dawn holds their confession. They whispered your name into the dark, asking for forgiveness that won't come easily, because what they destroyed last night wasn't her. It was the version of themselves that still deserved your love. 444. Type Amen to get blessing. Their reflection is now their punishment. Every time they look into a mirror, they see both of you, the betrayed and the betrayer, and it's tearing them apart, second by second. 555. Type Amen to get blessing. My beloved child, heaven saw your patience. In a moment where reaction was expected, restraint became your quiet strength, and instead of chasing or pleading, you allowed distance to speak for itself, turning silence into a form of protection rather than defeat, while the other person slowly began to feel the weight of what they assumed they controlled. Over time, that certainty started to unravel, replaced by uncertainty and reflection, as if life itself was forcing a pause where truths could no longer stay hidden, and subtle signs began to feel louder than words, showing up in unexpected calls, unfinished sentences, or confessions slipping through hesitation. What once looked like confidence now feels like instability, as inner fear replaces outward control, and memories of how things unfolded return in restless thoughts and uneasy dreams. Meanwhile, what was broken is not defined by collapse, but by transition, because experiences that once caused pain are gradually reshaping into clarity, self-respect, and emotional strength that cannot easily be shaken. Even encounters that felt destructive now reveal meaning, acting like mirrors that exposed intentions, choices, and emotional imbalance without needing confrontation. Those who failed to recognize value in time are now left reflecting in isolation, while the one who endured quietly begins to regain balance, no longer defined by loss, but by awareness and growth. In this unfolding, there is no pursuit of revenge, only the steady return of truth and inner stability, where what was once scattered starts to realign into something stronger, guided by healing, perspective, and the natural consequence of time revealing what was always beneath the surface. Every sign whispers the same warning: you shouldn't have betrayed the one protected by heaven. 333. Type Amen to get blessing, and you, my child, will rise untouched. Because your pain became a portal for divine justice. Heaven is orchestrating a meeting where masks will fall and only truth will speak. 444. Type Amen to get blessing. They will try to rewrite the story, but the energy never lies. Your intuition already knows the ending before it happens. You just need to stay silent, still, and ready, because the revelation will come like lightning in calm weather. 555. Type Amen to get blessing. My beloved child, don't fear the collapse. It's your breakthrough disguised as chaos. They thought they destroyed someone else, but in truth, they destroyed their own chance at redemption. You, however, are stepping into divine elevation, where no lie can breathe and no shadow can follow. 666. Type Amen to get blessing. So when you feel that sudden pull tonight, don't panic. It's not sadness. It's heaven preparing you for freedom. The energy that once chained you is dissolving, and the one who betrayed you is learning their lesson the hard way. 777. Type Amen to get blessing. Justice isn't loud, it's silent and precise, and the one in panic will soon face what they created. Meanwhile, your angels are lighting a new path, filled with peace, clarity, and undeniable blessings. 888. Type Amen to get blessing. You will hear from them soon, trembling, apologizing, searching for words. But you will know in your heart that the cycle is complete. Their panic is not your responsibility. Their downfall is not your burden. 999. Type Amen to get blessing. This was never about revenge. It was about revelation. Heaven allowed you to see the truth before it could destroy you. Now your peace will destroy their illusions in return. 111. Type Amen to get blessing. My beloved child, remember, your silence is divine. You don't need to shout to be heard by heaven, because the universe is already rewriting the story, this time with you as the victor. Their panic hasn't stopped since that night. It grows louder in every heartbeat. Every sound feels like a signal from the universe, reminding them of what they did. They keep checking their reflection, afraid that guilt will show on their face before the world sees it. 222. Type Amen to get blessing. You may notice them appear calm in front of others, but inside, they're unraveling piece by piece. They scroll through old messages, reading your words again, realizing how pure your love was. Now, every unread text feels like a wound they can't close. 333. Type Amen to get blessing. They tried to bury the memory of that woman they destroyed, but heaven made sure it would surface. Because her pain was not meant to fade. It was meant to reveal the true nature of what was hidden. And now, that truth is echoing through every person connected to you. 444. Type Amen to get blessing. The energy around them is heavy. Nothing flows right anymore. They lose things, forget small details, make mistakes that never used to happen. That's not coincidence, my beloved child. It's the universe balancing what was done against you. 555. Type Amen to get blessing. Archangel Michael says, heaven doesn't punish, it teaches. And now, your person is learning through sleepless nights, trembling hands, and unanswered prayers. They can't run from a lesson that carries your name in divine ink. 666. Type Amen to get blessing. You've been feeling shifts too. The sudden chills, the unexpected silence in crowded rooms. That's your intuition tuning into the frequency of truth. The spiritual thread between you and them is vibrating with unspoken confessions. 777. Type Amen to get blessing. They thought they could control the story, but heaven wrote a different script. Every person they meet now mirrors a piece of their guilt. Even strangers seem to repeat your words, as if heaven is reminding them of what they lost. 888. Type Amen to get blessing. My beloved child, the reason you were guided to stay calm was divine strategy. Your silence became their judgment. Without you saying a word, they faced their own reflection. Sometimes, words spoken in dishonesty return to their source, leaving behind a tension whenever certain names are mentioned. People who once justified their actions may try to reconnect later because they struggle with the consequences of what was revealed. They may speak of confusion, regret, or misunderstanding, yet such explanations often reflect discomfort rather than genuine accountability. What feels like emotional urgency is often fear of being seen clearly rather than an expression of love. Over time, life tends to reorganize relationships, gently distancing those who disrupt peace while bringing closer those who respect it. This shift is not rejection, but alignment, a quiet correction that helps restore balance. With distance comes clarity, and the person once affected by harsh words begins to rebuild inner strength. Experience transforms into wisdom, and awareness grows where confusion once existed. Encounters in the future may echo past moments through conversations, memories, or unexpected reminders that bring understanding. These reflections often feel precise, shown in a more honest light. Instead of preparing for confrontation, it becomes important to embrace clarity and emotional grounding. What once caused pain becomes a source of insight and healing. When apologies arrive later, they may feel uncertain or fragmented, revealing more about the speaker's inner state than the listener's worth. Silence and distance communicate more truth than repeated arguments could. In the end, truth does not demand force. It reveals itself through time and the quiet settling of understanding. They will reveal themselves without realizing it. 777. Type Amen to get blessing. Archangel Michael says, your aura has changed color, brighter, clearer, harder for deceit to approach. You've leveled up spiritually, and that's why their old tricks no longer work. Every lie spoken against you now returns to sender as divine correction. 888. Type Amen to get blessing. The woman they hurt is healing faster than they expected. Her recovery is a sign that justice has begun. 999. Type Amen to get blessing. They will try to rewrite the timeline, pretending that night never happened. But heaven has already stamped it into the book of lessons. No matter how they twist their story, divine order will pull everything back to balance. 111. Type Amen to get blessing. My witty, type Amen to get blessing. My beloved child, you are not losing anyone, you are shedding illusions. This separation was orchestrated for your protection, not your punishment. The universe removed what you couldn't see was harmful. 222. Type Amen to get blessing. They now stand at a crossroads, confess and heal, or deny and crumble. And no matter which path they choose, your peace remains untouched, because heaven has already assigned angels to guard your new chapter. 333. Type Amen to get blessing. Archangel Michael says, soon the truth will reach your ears like a whisper carried by wind. You won't need proof. Your spirit will confirm it instantly. And when that moment arrives, your heart will feel lighter, freer, unstoppable. 444. Type Amen to get blessing. They destroyed her last night with their actions, but what they didn't know was that heaven was recording. Every tear she shed became evidence in the court of karma, and now the verdict is being delivered through signs around you. 555. Type Amen to get blessing. You may notice feathers, flickering lights, repeated numbers. They're all confirmations from above. Heaven is saying, we saw everything. You are safe now. No weapon of deception can stand against divine revelation. 666. Type Amen to get blessing. Their panic will lead to confession. It always does. Because when truth burns within, silence becomes unbearable. Soon, you'll hear words they swore they'd never say. 777. Type Amen to get blessing. When that happens, breathe deeply and stay calm. You don't need anger. Your peace is your power. Heaven will let their own guilt reveal everything they tried to hide. 888. Type Amen to get blessing. My beloved child, your destiny was never tied to their betrayal. It was tied to your strength in surviving it. And now, heaven is preparing to reward you with peace so unshakable that even their name will lose power over you. 999. Type Amen to get blessing. Soon, their panic will turn into silence, and that silence will tell you the truth louder than any confession. You'll watch the universe close this chapter with precision and grace, and when it does, you will stand renewed, no longer the wounded, but the chosen. 111. Type Amen to get blessing. Archangel Michael says, your light has returned, and it's brighter than before. The truth that once broke your heart has now crowned you with wisdom. Walk forward, my child, for heaven has finished the story they tried to destroy. The air shifted the moment they decided to reach out. Their hands trembled as they typed, backspaced, and rewrote every word, because the truth they've hidden is no longer theirs to carry. Heaven has demanded it be released. 333. Type Amen to get blessing. My beloved child, their panic is turning into surrender. The guilt that once rotted in silence is now pushing them to speak before the storm hits. They know if they don't confess, the universe itself will expose them in a way they can't control. 444. Type Amen to get blessing. You'll feel it before it happens. A strange calm, like the air before lightning. That's your intuition bracing for truth, aligning with divine justice. When your phone lights up or a message arrives, you might already have a quiet sense of who it is before even opening it, as familiarity often builds intuition over time. In some conversations, people try to act relaxed and unbothered, yet their wording can carry subtle tension, revealing more than they intend to say. You can sometimes feel the hesitation between their sentences, as if there is something unspoken sitting beneath the surface. Often what creates this reaction is not fear or fate, but the mind's ability to pick up inconsistencies when trust has been tested. When communication becomes strained, silence can feel powerful because it allows clarity to settle without further confusion or emotional noise. Over time, hidden truths in relationships tend to surface naturally through actions, patterns, and repeated behavior rather than dramatic moments. Sometimes, what was once ignored becomes impossible to overlook, and people begin to see situations more clearly as emotional distance creates perspective. It is also common for past experiences to shape how you interpret present interactions, making you more aware of subtle shifts in tone or energy. Even casual encounters can feel different when your awareness has changed, as you start noticing details you previously missed. In this way, personal growth often comes from observation rather than confrontation, and understanding deepens when you allow events to unfold without forcing outcomes. Eventually, clarity replaces confusion, and what once felt uncertain begins to make more sense through time, reflection, and emotional maturity. Every heartbeat now is synchronized with divine order. 111. Type Amen to get blessing tonight. They won't sleep. They'll replay every scene from that night, haunted by the memory of what they said, because their biggest fear isn't your anger, it's your calm understanding. 22. Type Amen to get blessing. Archangel Michael says, the energy of truth is heavier than any punishment, and now it's sitting on their chest, making every breath feel like confession. The universe is pressing gently but firmly, saying, speak or break. 333. Type Amen to get blessing. You may receive a voice note, shaky, hesitant, filled with pauses. In between every silence, you'll feel their guilt bleeding through. They'll start to explain what happened that night, but even they won't believe their excuses anymore. 444. Type Amen to get blessing. The woman they destroyed has become stronger than before. She's not broken, she's reborn, carrying the truth like a torch, and heaven is guiding her path straight toward you. 555. Type Amen to get blessing. My beloved child, when that moment comes, listen carefully. Don't rush to forgive, don't rush to respond. Let the silence speak for you, because your calm will echo louder than any apology they could ever give. 666. Type Amen to get blessing. Their confession won't be clean, it'll be messy, fragmented, emotional. They'll reveal more than they mean to, and their own words will betray them. Heaven has a way of making liars expose themselves mid-sentence. 777. Type Amen to get blessing. They might mention her name, the woman they destroyed, without realizing it. That's the divine key, the missing piece you've been waiting to hear. And once you hear it, everything will click into place like a puzzle only heaven could design. 888. Type Amen to get blessing. Archangel Michael says, do not let anger poison your victory. The truth doesn't need fire to be powerful. It burns on its own. Your role now is to witness, not to wound. 999. Type Amen to get blessing. They'll ask if you can still love them after knowing everything, but deep down, they already know the answer. Heaven doesn't let deception sit beside destiny. You've outgrown the version of yourself that needed their approval. 111. Type Amen to get blessing. My beloved child, remember how strong you became in silence. That strength wasn't weakness. It was divine preparation for this moment. You've learned that not all losses are tragedies. Some are sacred redirections. 222. Type Amen to get blessing. They will cry now, not for what they lost, but for what they can never regain. Because trust, once shattered by deceit, doesn't rebuild under panic. It rebuilds under truth, and truth doesn't belong to them anymore. 333. Type Amen to get blessing. You may feel sympathy, but don't mistake it for attachment. Compassion is holy, but returning to pain is not. Heaven wants you free, not bound by the chains of what if. 444. Type Amen to get blessing. Their panic will peak when they see your peace, because peace means closure, and closure means the end of their illusion. Every tear they shed now is a reflection of what they did in secret. 555. Type Amen to get blessing. Archangel Michael says, your next chapter begins the moment you refuse to absorb their chaos. You are stepping into divine clarity, a season where your peace is your wealth. The same angels who saw your heartbreak are now rewriting your destiny in gold. 666. Type Amen to get blessing. The woman they destroyed will find justice without revenge. She will rise, speak, and walk in light. Her healing will expose their darkness effortlessly. And you, my child, will witness how heaven balances every scale with perfect timing. 777. Type Amen to get blessing. Soon you'll stand face to face with them. They will tremble, not because of what you'll say, but because of what you already know. Heaven's presence will fill the space between you, making truth impossible to hide. 888. Type Amen to get blessing. You'll notice their eyes darting, their breath quickening, their hands restless. That's not nervousness. That's guilt colliding with divine exposure. People often underestimate how powerful it is to outgrow the stories that once hurt them. Yet that is exactly where real transformation begins. What once felt like chaos slowly turns into clarity when time gives perspective, and you start seeing situations for what they truly were, rather than what they felt like in the moment. There comes a point where emotional storms settle, not because everything outside changes instantly, but because something within you learns to stay steady, to breathe differently, and to respond rather than react. Instead of holding on to resentment or replaying old conversations, you begin to recognize that peace is built through release, not resistance, and growth often requires distance from what drains your energy. As this shift unfolds, you notice that closure does not always come from others, but from your own decision to stop carrying what no longer belongs in your present life. What once felt like betrayal or confusion starts transforming into understanding, and that understanding becomes wisdom that strengthens your future choices. You stop waiting for validation and start trusting your own progress, realizing that moving forward quietly is more powerful than revisiting the past loudly. In this space of emotional clarity, life begins to feel lighter, opportunities feel more aligned, and your focus naturally shifts toward rebuilding rather than revisiting. Ultimately, the real breakthrough is not in what others do or say, but in how completely you free yourself from what no longer defines you, stepping into a version of life that feels calmer, stronger, and more grounded in self-respect and inner balance.